many days do you prep for at a time?
So for me, it's like I said, everybody's different. For me, I usually prep for about 3 to 5 days at a time. Now, obviously, like I said, my wife, she definitely helps out a lot. So if I have the opportunity to, then she just cooks most of my meals for me. And then I can actually just come home. Like I said, I'm at a gym, so I have the opportunity to come home and stuff. And then she'll have all my meals ready. Now, if you're focusing on fresh food, that's obviously what we're going to be focused on today. But overall, you'll be able to, and I'm just kind of walk you through how to box them up and package it to where it lasts a little bit longer.
So she should actually be here cooking. Just an observation.
Yes. Yeah, she should. She actually.
So the skin is on those sweet potatoes.
Yes, yeah.
I'm having a hard time with that.
Oh. You're having a hard time with that?
Yeah.
So preference. Nobody else does that?
If I wash and scrub
Yeah.
so it's clean, then it. Like on the red potatoes, I get.
Yeah.
Sweet potatoes, it's different.
No, but there's something. It's supposed to be healthy.
Yeah.
I made some last night in Instant Pot. It's the mushroom cakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, man. Anybody got any other questions? I can't go on. These are super simple.
So I came in late. What are you making again?
This is sweet potatoes. So right now I'm also on breakfast, right? So this portion right here would be for 2 to 3 days for carbs. Okay, because and like I said before, if you didn't catch it, if you just showed up, you want to portion everything out. So everything I have portioned out right now, except for the vegetables, obviously, because those are pretty. You just pick them up. It's pretty self-explanatory. But the meat with the carbs, I portion those out and have everything ready to cook and ready to go. So you're planning everything else. That's super vital, super key. You have everything ready and everything ready to go. I actually have a list that I carry with me.
So wait, that meat and that bowl right there is 4 days for you?
Yes, that's 3 to 5 days. Yeah.
Breakfast and lunch only?
Say it again.
Breakfast and lunch only? Or?
This is actually just going to cover my lunches.
Okay,
Yeah.
just lunch.
Yeah. For breakfast, I just go. I'm on the eggs. I gotta get eggs.
Did you get the protein measurement?
So you don't meal prep your dinners then?
Well, as y'all heard in the orientation, I usually eat pretty much the same thing over and over. Like I said, this whole process, this is going to be as simple as we can make it. Because I don't want to. There's tons of different ways you can go with meal prepping and like how to meal prep and how to store it. There's so much, but for me, the easiest part is just. I'm going to show you all what was easy for me when I first got started. So when I first started, kind of made it a habit. This is just the easiest thing, the easiest route that I took.
Okay, do you ever freeze nuts or do you just refrigerate?
Say it again?
Do you freeze nuts or do you just refrigerate?
I definitely freeze, but you want to make sure that there's just coming up. There's definitely a lot that has to do with how much air is in the bag whenever you freeze it. You got a lot of air in there, or if it's moisture, if you're going to rinse out your vegetables when you buy them, that's fine. But obviously, moisture's on it, it freezes, freeze it perfect, right? And if y'all notice, I don't really put a whole lot of oil. It's kind of it's enough to make sure it's not going to stick. It's just kind of keep it coated.
And no seasoning?
What's that?
No seasoning?
Not yet. I usually wait for the very last portion. So for this one particularly, I'm going to put I'm going to pour half of this in with those sweet potatoes, and then I'm going to mix that up. So for me, cooking the eggs and sweet potatoes together, they just hold better. So that way, whenever I'm about to go over the bag, but I'm going to put them in a bag. I'm going to Ziploc everything up, so I've got all that portion right there. So if I know that I need to wake up and go to work, like most of us do, then I'm going to put everything into the portion. I'm going to put the bag in the water, and I'm going to zip it up. The reason why I put the bag in the water, just as a whole with the food in it, is that water is going to compress the air out of the bag, so it's going to keep most of it out. So instead of sitting there, I have to worry about pushing the air out of the bag or buying like what's that machine, like $200, $300? You don't have to do that. So there's definitely easier ways to kind of get around that. Overall, these meals don't take a whole lot of time to cook. So realistically, I'm cooking one at a time, and I'm going to put everything back into the containers. So I've got an extra container over there that my sweet potato is going to go in, then my regular potato is going to go in there. Or if you wanted to, if you weren't going to mix the eggs, I don't know how some of y'all feel about that. But there's definitely a lot of different options that you guys can take. These are just, like I said, this is just what I do. This is easier for me. Does that make sense? Anything else?
Okay, so you're talking about eggs. Do a lot of people make eggs in the oven ahead of time?
I do.
They be gross.
The microwave the eggs, there's a lot of moisture in it and stuff. When you microwave the egg, it's going to suck out. So it tastes like powdered eggs. I don't know if you've ever had that. It's terrible.
Yeah, I do.
So generally, if you want to warm up your eggs, everything else is pretty fine. If you want to warm up those eggs, you can actually probably take better advantage and put some warm water, some boiling water in a pot, and kind of hold the eggs in there, so that way you don't have to worry about the microwave.
Okay, but if you're gonna do that, then why not just put the eggs at eggs?
Say it again.
Can you just do all this and still just put the eggs?
You can, yeah, but it's not everybody would have that opportunity, right? Like some of us would have to wake up super early and just grab and go, which I totally get. This little, Matt, can you put it up for me? Fastest way to get carbs. I mean, it's literally a packet, and I don't know if y'all have the packets on there, but it's labeled on there. It's got a little fill-up line where you need to stop at, right? Like it's super simple, super easy. The biggest part of meal prepping for me is always just to make things available. Just, you know, and kind of on the opposite side of that as well. Make sure that what you have it's not gonna contradict what you're doing. So don't have junk food in the house, replace it with something else. It's like you're gonna have everything available in your house, but you'll spend more time there, right? Anything else?
What are you adding?
This is Chinese 5-spice. If you go to the store and you get this, it's gonna say it's mainly just for pork and poultry and stuff. But guys, I've been using this on sweet potatoes for a long time, and it's super cinnamony. It's got that kind of I don't know, almost like seasoned salt taste to it. With a bit, it's very odd, but it tastes really good. It's been working for me.
Mrs. Dash, okay?
I actually only get this.
And is there salt in that spice?
That particular one is salt free.
Okay.
Yeah, they do have one with salt, yes.
And these put cinnamon, fennel, pepper.
Say it again?
I was just reading the directions. Or the ingredient.
How long do you saute those?
This one is just kind of eyeballing. The pounds of pans that I have in my house, they're a lot smaller. So this one, since we're making a little larger quantity than I normally do, it's going to take about 10, maybe 12 minutes, not much longer.
I'll leave them here.
And it's not, I mean, I don't want to say it's not sauteed, but I don't use a whole lot of oil. I try to stick away from that as much as I can. It's honestly just a preference. If you're doing this and but if you're cooking everything and you feel like you need a little more or a little less, I mean, honestly, like I said, it's really whatever you feel comfortable with. But the whole point of meal prepping is to be able to have everything ready. The biggest part is the setup, right? We need to make sure that we're setting everything up. My biggest problem when I first got started is I never had like a dump pan. And it's not a real dump pan, but like if I needed something, okay, I need to get done with this and push this off because we don't all have an Aussie setup like this. I have that little bowl right there. So if I'm missing something, or if I need to add something in, or if I'm done with something I need to get off the stove, it's right there. Make sense?
Yeah, just the
No.
Egg white or eggs?
These are regular eggs. These are not just egg whites. I know that the serving size would be
Oh, you're putting it in with potatoes?
2 and 2. Yeah, I should put them in with potatoes. Now, like I said, this is going to be half and half. So this will be the sweet potatoes with the eggs, and then my other half will be the red skin potatoes with the eggs. Yeah, so, and not everybody likes sweet potatoes, kind of found that out real quick. But for those of you who do, I mean, they're super good for you. But, you know, obviously if you want to shake it up, mix everything else up, and like I said, bland it before you got it.
Yeah.
How many eggs was that?
That was about half, so that was about 6.
6 eggs?
Yeah. I don't remember when I first got started, the eggs weren't as fluffy as I wanted them. So honestly, you just add like a cup of water and mix it out real quick. Except for you. Give me your 5 days.
You want to smell it?
I use it. I've seen it.
It's probably regular. This is regular cheese. This is less. What's that? This is not the cheese that I use. It's actually the first time I use this, but it tastes super good, so you don't have it. But yeah, I put cheese on at the last second, just kind of at the last one. It really still gets mixed in. It's just obviously you don't want to put cheese in with the eggs, because then it's going to stick to it, it's going to get burnt faster. So low heat, right when you're getting finished. Does that make sense? All right. Anybody got any other questions? Lay it out. I think this whole thing is sponsored by Sprouts.
Watermelon Sprouts.
What's that?
Everything that we bought was Sprouts.
Everything. So that was all new to me. I probably should try through.
No, just last yesterday.
Yeah.
You have a vacuum cleaner, right?
Yeah.
You have a vacuum cleaner.
Oh yeah.
They can't hear it.
Anybody else? Any other questions?
How are you? That's one time with a girlfriend. One time. And then one time we did the freezer shares for like a whole month. Three, I think we went like 12, so like 3 weeks. You don't want to like everything.
Store it in the fridge.
Yeah, they actually
It's nice. You have to write it.
push it out as I go, and then you reheat it or you eat it. No, I actually reheat it, but you can use instead of putting it in the microwave. It's gonna kind of once you put eggs in the microwave, it's never the same. It can't dry out. You get a hot boiling water. You just dip it back in the water. I mean, it's like I said, that microwave it sucks the moisture out of every half. So if it's not already moisture like comes out of the chicken, it's kind of soaking some yogurt. If it's not doing that, then it's gonna taste terrible, right? As I'm waiting on the potatoes to kind of get done, I didn't want to go over this with you. I don't know who all told about this, but these two doesn't keep it. But overall, this is the bag that I got. This bag right here, if you're traveling, if you're constantly going to work, you need something within this realm. The reason I'm saying that is because the whole thing comes with a cooler, it comes with several kind of containers that you can pack everything in. I mean, it's super convenient. This literally has my whole day. I can change clothes if I need it. But the biggest thing is actually this cooler in here. So the cooler comes in. It's like $50 on Amazon. And then inside that, 3 separate containers. Yeah. As far as this actually goes, you can prep all this up, pack it in the night before. That's one option, one route you can go. If you want to make 5 days worth, you want to pack it up. But you still be able to portion everything out, store your meals in there, you got it for the next day, and you grab it and go. This, like I said, I don't endorse any kind of company or anything, but this thing has been a huge favorite for me. They also have regular packages that you can get. So if you want to have like actually preset meals, so if you want to have 20 containers in your fridge, if that's a route you want to go, I believe it's Enther, E-N-T-H-E-R, from Amazon. You can get like 20 of the containers for like $15. E-N-T-H-E-R, yeah.
What's the brand of the backpack?
The backpack's by Prep Natural. Prep Natural? Yeah. And they got nothing but products. As you want to cook more, it's going to take a little longer. But ultimately, whenever you're talking about how I do it, whenever I just cook all my meals for that day, so I'll wake up about an hour, now my wife will, and she'll wake up in the morning and everything's prepped and ready to go. All right, that generally takes, those meals, once you get that habit down and once you get it consistent, I mean, it's like 20, 40 minutes at the most. You just kind of make it a habit as much as you can. I don't know, who has Pinterest here? Anybody? Guys, it's amazing. Like, if you want to find some crazy meal prep stuff that takes like 5 minutes, get on it. Like, you just literally meal prep meals. I mean, it's amazing. But any other questions? Anybody got anything real quick?
Josh, they're asking what's in there.
This is sweet potatoes. Oh, in this?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's sweet potatoes, eggs, and I use coconut oil and Chinese 5 spice. A little bit of cheese. A little bit of cheese. Thank you, Sandy.
Josh, how much protein is in that?
That's so cute.
How much exactly? I mean, I got 2 eggs for 1 serving, so I've got 6 in there, so 3 to 4 servings, generally.
So how long would that skillet last you?
This right here, this will last me about 2 or 3 breakfasts. Yeah.
But don't you eat more than normal people? Because I don't eat like that.
We're talking about like
I don't
actual
eat that
portion
much.
sizes and stuff. This is generally what you guys would be eating. Yeah. Mine
So
is.
I would eat that much, even though I don't work out as much as you.
But you gotta imagine this isn't gonna be. You're thinking of you're seeing one big product, right? So what you need to imagine that you're cooking the whole breakfast work.
We're gonna eat this much.
Yeah.
So you take that chunk out of it, you know. All right. So like I said, you just need to have something that you can kind of go to.
But based on our person, we're supposed to have 4. So, like, based on our thing that we have right now, is 2 egg whites and 2 yolks.
2 egg whites
So
and 2
4
eggs.
total.
2 eggs.
4 eggs, right?
Right.
Okay, so we would need to switch that up.
I made the applesauce pancakes and I had 6 egg whites and the applesauce pancakes, but I couldn't eat them all either. So it said 1 serving, but it was really like almost 2.
So that's what I'm doing. And throw your 4 eggs in.
What you got there?
What's going on here?
You famous.
Insta famous.
I'm videoing you.
And just something quick to point out, if you haven't noticed already, a lot of stuff that I'm cooking in the portion sizes, they're very small, not very big, right? All right, so the smaller you cook them, faster they're exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I know it may go without saying.
She might.
But the only one I tried was
Pretty sure.
really?
You can buy the potatoes pre-cut, right? If you're really.
I don't buy them.
Because I know in the market, we're like, I don't
I was like, the longest, it takes the longest to cut everything.
But it's in the market, they have all this stuff in there.
Hopefully it's actually your stuff.
How long would that take?
It's exercise when you cut it, so.
Now,
Lazy.
beforehand, if you haven't chopped everything up, so before all you showed up, I had everything, you know, I've got everything like pre-seasoned, pre-chopped up. Obviously, while the potatoes are going, or if you're worried about your other carbs, that's your time, that's your opportunity to start getting everything else ready. I'm trying to make myself available so if you all have questions and stuff.
You said pre-season, did you
Fried the chicken.
On that.
pre-season the chicken? What did you pre-season?
So with the chicken, it's just lemon pepper, and I put some Greek yogurt on it. Greek yogurt is just an alternative to mayo for me. It just holds it helps the chicken hold a little more moisture.
No way.
That's chicken breast.
That's chicken.
Yeah, it's like, there's no way that the guys looks like
It
that.
looks like that is me, but I don't think that much.
Like, there's no way.
How many breasts is that?
That's
Fire on here.
that's about 12. 10 pounds.
So you marinate that in
You can use mayo, no other people use mayo, but yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just another
Are you
alternative.
using like a 000, or are you using the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh,
It doesn't take much.
Can't you use Greek yogurt in place of sour cream?
I mean, yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, like I said, this is just, everything laid out is just, this is my personal regimen. This is how I get things done. So I'm moving a lot faster, but.
So what does the yogurt do?
Yogurt just soaks into the chicken and allows for a little more moisture. I mean, it's really.
It's tender.
Yeah, the science behind it.
No, I was looking for the tender part.
Yeah, and as far as all the vegetables go,
Can I see how much you use?
Where'd it go?
it was just
Okay, just part of it.
Josh,
Josh,
what yogurt?
what do you do with the yogurt again?
the Greek yogurt, I put it in the chicken. Take about 2 tablespoons, we take pounds of it, you just mix it up. Yeah, exactly. That's just helps hold the chicken for another last long.
It's the regular, it's the Greek.
Right up.
What's that? This right? Yeah, put it in there.
Josh has a step-by-step written out, so we'll also post that for you.
Yeah, I'm literally just kind of going down the list here, so everything you're seeing is really just me kind of following those instructions. No, I'm not. But that has nothing to do with Chinese 5 fries being for breakfast. That's just a personal preference. No, I'm going to use the garlic and herb right here.
So if you were going to add a veggie to your breakfast, would you just throw spinach in with the eggs and the
that's what you can do. For me, I don't like, I think my son calls it surprise veggie or surprise spinach or something like that. Bomb spinach, I don't know. But every time I mix spinach in with my breakfast, I mix it all in there. I've got one solid clump of spinach that just seems to kind of gather together, and it's a terrible surprise. And you expect it to be like a potato or an egg.
It tastes good.
So, but what I do, I just take my spinach and I'll just I'll kind of throw it in there last and kind of saute it, and I'll have a whole section in the baggie spent by itself.
Okay.
Yeah, so that way there's no surprise. But that's, like I said, that if you want to go in there, mix in there.
Okay, but that's what you would add with that. Okay.
Yeah, I usually 9 times out of 10 see a broccoli or spinach with all my stuff. And then for you guys, I just got string beans and snap peas just because I want to be a little extra.
How much chicken was that again?
That's about 10 pounds. Well, like I said, guys, that's not 10 pounds for just lunch for 3 to 5 days. That's 10 pounds for lunch and your second meal. Right? If we're trying to eat consistently, then we make sure we're planning ahead. But this is all just basic. This is all making it as simple as I can. Not saying it does get complicated, but honestly, you're gonna mess up. Like you're gonna find something that you didn't buy, or like it's gonna happen. You'll get a system down, and it starts coming together real quick. Anything else? That's for my next meal. The portions are all the same, right? Because I'm still getting the palm protein and stuff like that. So does that make sense to everybody? The portions doesn't change. So if you want to have the potatoes and the eggs and everything else in there, all the portions are still the same. I don't change my portions from breakfast. Like I don't have more protein and more carbs in the morning. It's all the same, right? So if I wanted to do a green smoothie for the morning and then my next meal I wanted to push to be the eggs, I can still do that. It's still the portion sizes and how much protein and carbs in anybody is the same thing. Yeah.
Like each meal has the same percent, like the same macros breakdown?
Not exactly, not like 100% the same macros, but as far as like the palms and yeah, it's all the same. Yeah.
Hey, Josh, there's some people in the back that showed up late. Can you just walk them through what you did already?
Yeah, so originally whenever you go to the store, first thing I said was you need to know what you need to buy, right? So whenever we get to the store first, stay on the outsides of the store. You know, there's nothing down the aisles that you're going to need to buy, right? Unless you want to do some pasta or something along those lines.
Beans.
Well, either they have regular beans on the outside where the produce is at. So, as far as what you're going to buy, you need to make sure you have a list. I always, I just had it out. It's a yellow notepad. I carry this list this is really just this notepad. I carry my backpack. And like I said, I mean, most of the stuff that I'm even talking about is just on this list. And it's really keeping that consistent. Make sure that before you go to the store, you know what you're going to buy, so you're writing it all down. Those things are really important. And it's the smallest thing, is just writing it down. But for whatever reason, the connection you make when you write it down, like, okay, well, I got to get that. So check it off as you go. What's that?
I prefer to start at one end and go up and down the aisle.
Yeah.
And see what I need.
2 hours later, it becomes home.
Well, personal preference and what's going on here today are two different things. But yeah. But yeah, so ultimately all I'm doing is just, you make sure that you have everything available, right? So I've got everything opened up. I know my portion sizes already, so I'm doing the palm protein, for example. So I've got all my protein ready and available right there. I know that that's how much I need for the rest of the week, and then I'll portion it all out. The end result for today is gonna be, I'm gonna box everything up in my main priority. So I've got my potatoes and my breakfast right here. That one's the only one that I'm gonna put together. But everything else, I'm gonna have the chicken by itself, broccoli's by itself, string beans, spinach is going in there with the breakfast, so that's also together. But I have those grouped out like that, so in the morning I wake up and I can just put it in my containers and go. Especially when you've got the containers I showed, little box, you literally just portion it in there and you put it back in. It's the easiest thing. And making it easy, making it available, well, thank you. Making it available is the best route that you can take. And vice versa. I don't know if everybody heard what we were talking about for the nutrition, not making things available. So if you have sugar in the house, just get it out of the house. Like, it's not, you don't have to buy it when you go to the grocery store. So that kind of alternative would be to buy something that you know you would want to use whenever you're at the grocery store.
What's in there now?
This is just regular red skin potatoes. I haven't put any seasoning on them yet, so it's just the regular potatoes and then eggs with add on that.
You start with coconut oil with that one too. Yeah, you're vacuum sealing over here, so you have to put up extra
So is your preference this way versus like a mash?
Yeah, you know, doing like a hash, you guys ever talking about just put it all together?
Or a mash, like a sweet potato mash, like if you bake them and just mash them and you had that.
Yeah,
or you just like it because they're crunchy or?
No, same thing.
Okay.
It's really personal preference,
Okay.
right? So if you like to cook, if you like the potatoes to taste a certain way, or if you'd rather have a whole potato, that's really the best. I mean, whatever works well with you, because if you don't like it when you're doing it, you're not going to want to keep doing it. So for me, I chop mine up, make it real fine. It's easier and it's faster to cook, so I have no issues. I got, my son is consistently waking up at 7:30 every single day. I mean, don't need an alarm clock. He's going to wake up at 7:30. So I know that if I wake up at 6 o'clock, I can have everything planned out. It takes me about an hour and a half. I can run to the grocery store if I need to. I know where everything's at already, because like I said, I've been making habits. I know where it's at. And then when I get home, I already got everything ready to go. I know how to cook it, and I can get it done. Now, if you have more time, or if you're staying home working, I mean, if it's easier for you and you want to have it more fresh, the easiest thing for you to do is have, like I got right now, have it all out and ready, and then just put those in containers. Don't even cook it. Put it in containers and freeze it. I think we had this conversation too. You can put green smoothies and do the same thing in a mason jar. Just put all the dry stuff in the mason jar, set it in the refrigerator freezer, and then just add the almond milk later. So like I said, making it available was easy. You spend like 2 hours, maybe 3 at the most, getting everything ready for the week, and you don't have to worry about it. So like I said, making it available is a huge component, right? Anything else? You freaking out with me using your stuff, or you just?
I was just going to say something. If it's there and it's prepared, then you're not going to slip up, right?
Yes.
I mean, if you get lazy, well, there's no reason to slip up because you got it ready.
Exactly right.
Maybe I do, you know, like all the cutting boards and everything. She's got some nice big cutting boards.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't have one.
So you did the red potatoes on the baked potatoes?
Say it again?
You cooked the red potatoes on it?
You know, it really, that part depends on how much you cut them up. I like my sweet potatoes to be kind of crunchy, so you like bite to them. So, yeah, I usually put those long. For whatever reason, Redskins, they're not flavor. Yeah, so yeah, I put them on. I think more
Oh, for vegetable broth, that's nice. Yeah. Because I usually do like peppers and mushrooms. That's what I like in my eggs. I mean, I'll put spinach and stuff too, but I'm broccoli, I don't eat broccoli. So now you can like avocado. Do you feel like doing it?
But there was somebody that was invited to go to the back of the
Cheese, like goat cheese or fatty or anything like that? Because those are like supposedly non-dairy or whatever.
They had lots of cheese.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
You better not.
And then after that, like I would go someplace and maybe some crackers and I could go buy some potato. And it was good. I didn't feel like I had to do that. Like sometimes I eat crackers, I eat so I'm not really like, I don't feel like I pretty much like it. I don't think
Are you gonna pass out sugar? You want us to do that?
Yeah, if you want.
I mean, I don't eat very much of it, but I do stuff right now.
Brown rice, jasmine rice, brown rice that's not enriched and stuff. But as far as just what I brought today, yeah, that's what that is.
We're gonna look and see what's in here. Jasmine rice. About to boil.
So when I cook the chicken, this is just a side note, y'all don't have to follow this, but when I cook the chicken, I cook it a piece at a time. Not piece, like tiny pieces, I dice them up, but I only cook maybe a handful or two at a time. If you're doing meal prep boxes, ideally you would have all your boxes laid out. If you went to Amazon and you got those Tupperware, it comes in like 3 different compartments, like it's super convenient. When I found those out, that's all I use instead of the bags, but that's whenever you have all those laid out for the week in your boxes.
And so why do you cook it? Because you want it cooked evenly?
Honestly, the reason why I do this with the chicken is A, yeah, I want it to be cooked evenly, but B, but I also want to have it portioned out correctly.
Okay. So you're cooking one portion at a time?
Yeah, and plus, like if you cook chicken, if you cook a whole lot of chicken at once, it gets really watery. And it's not, but I'm not cooking one portion at a time right now. When I get this out, because like I said, what I'm doing right now is I'm just portioning, I'm putting everything together, right? So the breakfast is the only thing that's going to go all together. But as far as the chicken, the broccoli, everything else, it's going to have its own separate container. Yeah. What's that? Got spinach over here.
Put it in the side of the bag.
Yeah, it's inside the bag.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you don't have the oil in the pan?
Not with the, well, once I've already used it, the oil's already in it, so I ain't gonna worry about it.
There's a lot of
Checklist. Anybody have any questions? Anything else you just the last little portion, y'all see this on this paper that I have here. Whenever you start cooking and separating everything out, the biggest thing you need to worry about is, referring back to the first part, having everything available, but it took me, I've been meal prepping for 4 or 5 years now, and it took me every bit of that to get where I can just kind of go into the kitchen and have everything available. And then even with going shopping, like it's so odd how you don't realize how many times you walk down an aisle to get some food rather than trash bag, toilet paper or something. I mean, really everything else that you're going to be cooking or needing for the day, it's all right there, right? So you're going to mess up eventually, and this system may not work for you, but ultimately you want to make sure that whatever you're doing, if you want to pack everything up, or if you're staying at the house and you got a lot of time on your hands, make it fresh. Like, have fun with it. But there's tons of different recipes out there that you can follow.
So do you make something different every week? We know you eat broccoli and chicken, but that's what you eat, right?
Yeah.
You don't get tired of it.
I'm actually blessed that way. I can eat the same thing and not even.
Well, I have to reach out. So it has to be different. They're willing to eat healthy, but it has to be different.
So just with the rice, whenever it starts to boil, I just try to heat down. You want rice to cook as long as you can, but I get it hot enough where it's boiling, and that's where it's going to overflow. I don't know if anybody's heard that trick where you slip the bamboo over top of the pot. I mean, some of it works, some of it just completely overflows anyway. Don't know what the theory is.
How long does this normally take you?
So just for today, this normally takes. This normally takes me anywhere between like an hour to an hour and a half. Now, like I said, that's just for today. Generally, once you get your system down, you find out what you like and what you don't like. My normal, if I wake up at 6 and I start to meal prep, my breakfast, 3 lunches, and having a protein shake ready, that takes me about 30 to 45 minutes. But like I said, that's been years. Like I've literally been working on this same thing for a while. So, yeah, exactly, yeah. But it's honestly, I still remember the first time I did it, and I bought so much food, like a lot. And then I think about half of it actually got cooked, and then the other half went bad before I got to it. Which is also another point. You need to know where your portions are at, right? Like, so you don't. I don't want to say underbuy, because you always want to make sure you have enough. But if you know that, for that broccoli, that whole broccoli, that was just one. There's two. No, it was 2, wasn't it? 3. There's 3 big bushes of broccoli. That right there, and I just cut off. I made the smaller leaflets, so the whole stem we don't actually even use. So just kind of use that as a comparison. That's 3, and they were pretty big, 3 bushes of broccoli. So it's like, know what you're gonna buy.
You know you can peel the stem and cut it up, right?
What's that?
You can peel the stem and cut it up.
Sure you can.
It's actually really good.
Sorry.
Come here, Mama.
You don't mind?
Hot.
I have a lasagna.
already on there, soaking up. Yeah. Regular chicken breast. What, right? Chicken breast. Overall, but yeah, the vegetables take like 3, maybe 4 minutes after that. Like I said, if you're prepping for like 3 to 5 days, like I did, hour and a half at the most. So for me, it's just waking up early in the morning. For some of you, it might be before you go to bed.
So you prep every morning?
No. My wife does.
Okay, somebody. Okay.
If I know we're going to be doing stuff, then yeah, we'll kind of prep together. She has her hands as well, but since I wake up early and I go to work, and I kind of get up excited, she stays home, and she's just kind of, like I said, we're able to have it fresh, we cut off the stock then.
Okay, so you do everything now, okay?
Yeah. But again, that's what I have available.
But you can still, like, in the morning, oatmeal and then soy milk. And I add a little stuff in it, but I get 27 grams of protein. Well, the soy milk.
Just like a tiny
I don't either. Yeah, like if you get I don't like the taste of milk either. I grew up in Wisconsin, the dairy state, and the taste of milk is disgusting. But you can get the almond flavor or vanilla flavor of soy milk, and it's got a sweet taste. Yeah, and then it's
This was 1 cup.
Yeah, like almond milk. I mean, almond milk is great for you. You get a lot more protein in soy milk. Like 1 cup will probably give you 6 grams of protein. Yeah, and it gives it a nice creamy texture.
You having fun, Josh?
Yeah.
Sure am. Bicep in this, I've been flexing for like an hour now. You like it?
I do. Why are you looking at me like that?
I was curious, I didn't hear you.
I said,
It's not like Bob Ross. Can't do it like you do. Everything. That's why it's a kitchen. You're allowed to make messes in the kitchen.
We're trying to get everything done at one time. So you have 4 meals. Yeah. When you're meal prepping, you can use the same one.
This would be like my typical day. This would be like my ideal typical day. Yeah. Oh, right now? It's almost done. I got that. Almost done. Almost.
That's your green vegetable guy.
I really am.
Do you like mushrooms and peppers?
I like mushrooms, yeah, mushrooms. All right, so just to kind of show you all. Now, guys, this is just one day. This is not, obviously, I didn't spend an hour and a half making this right here. So this is just one solid day for me. Obviously, we see the protein portions, greens in the middle, carbs on the outside. Realistically, this only takes 20, 40 minutes once you get it down. Once you've got that kind of that consistency and the habit created, it keeps it real simple. Being able to visually see it is kind of it's really important, I think, right? And the same thing wherever we write it down. So the last thing I do, or I did beforehand, was give a checklist. All right. If you're eating 4 meals a day, you're going to check off each one that you see as you go. So I know that I got breakfast in the baggie. We're going to check all those off. And meal 2, I'm going to look at meal 2, what do I have in there? I'm going to check it off. If you find something that you really like, I think the biggest thing that I've found is that whenever you make a recipe and it's super fast, you're like, this is so flipping good, use it. Like, make as much of it as you can, because your taste buds are going to change, like things are going to happen, and you may not like that. So the longer you can kind of keep those going, the easier it is for you to stay consistent with it, right? So the whole point of meal prepping, I think of this whole thing was to make habits, just to kind of show you that it's literally an hour and a half. And I mean, we had some people cook them, or some people eat all this stuff, but realistically, an hour and a half, and I made 5 days worth of food. For me, it's waking up early and getting it done. For you, it may not be. One of the options that some clients have is that you're able to cook at home. If you've got the opportunity to, do it, because you want it to be fun. You want it to be enjoyable. You want to be able to eat the food and not have like this mushy, dry, it's been in the freezer for 10 days kind of a taste, right? And then on the opposite end, I think one of the other things that we have is a lot of people are traveling. Some people are, if you're constantly moving around and you got stuff to do, that bag is a lifesaver. I mean, it literally, you can fit all your clothes in there. I carry that thing with me everywhere. I have a double bag as well, but that's for emergencies, which kind of leads me to my next point. If you forget, you're going to mess up, right? So you need to plan ahead and make sure that you have the things available. If you're at work, or if you know you're going to be traveling, I know Walmart has delivery. You can literally just order your food and have it waiting for you, and then you can be able to set it up. I don't know if you're in a hotel. And even if you're not, if you know that you're going to be traveling, you may miss a meal, or you're going to have to eat out, and you don't want to eat the whole thing, but you're going to have to go out to clients with, or whatever the situation is. Biggest thing you can do for yourself is get a tub of protein. I have a shaker, it's the same thing in the bag. I've got a shaker bottle with protein in it. You can package it up, you can put it in little baggies, unless you're going to the airport, they may not let you do that. But,
you can, they just swallow it.
there you go. Done. So as long as it's not white or looking like cocaine, you're probably good.
Did you get that on video?
I sure did.
But yeah, so honestly, like I said, this is my typical day. I box these up, I put them in there, and then, like I said, if you do this at night and you want to have it ready for the morning, if you have that container or any other container, there's tons of different 3-layer containers out there that allow you to have a lot of different stuff with you. Like I said, just make sure it's readily available, right? Does anybody have anything that you saw that you had a question about, or anything, any kind of questions at all?
This is fresh green beans.
What's that?
This is just fresh green beans.
Yeah, those are literally from Sprouts, fresh green beans.
How'd you cook them?
What's that? On the stove. No, I didn't do anything special. Honestly, for the chicken, I let the whatever juices I get from the chicken, because it's marinated, the yogurt and the seasonings I get from that, I'll cook all my vegetables in there. Obviously, you don't want to let it sit more than like 10 minutes. Depends on how much you like to cook. Yeah, I like all my vegetables crunchy, so mine's a little different.
So Josh, that's so just so everybody's on the same page. You eat more probably than everybody here. So he's saying that's his day. That's because you eat how often do you eat?
I eat probably every 3 hours or so.
Yeah, right. So for him, but for everyone else, that's what. How many servings of carbs and protein for each one?
This would be a guide to what a palm.
So for the ladies, how much would they? What would they do?
So yeah, for the ladies, you would just half the carbs and it's the protein, I believe, right? Yeah, it's got so the carbs and the protein. Yeah, realistically.
Half both.
What's that?
Half both of it.
Right.
How much is that a palm or 2 palms of protein?
The palm is 2 for protein.
So yeah, half.
Yeah. But like I said, realistically, everybody's got different goals. But for whatever we're all for 90-day challenge, and we're all on the same, right? So there's no difference to it. I think there's like Carrie asked her. But if you have a green smoothie in the morning, I mean, the portions don't change. You know, like it's not the breakfast that I use that y'all had. Those are the same. The portions I was the same, and then this is the same as that. So you can just move the meals around. Like I said, you got to make it easy. Don't overcomplicate it. Because if you do, the moment you start trying to overthink it, and then people get into macros and they're like, how many carbs are in this? And then they try to get the 0.08 of a gram, and it's, guys, don't overcomplicate it.
Or they can just use that. Right? Everyone here can use that for like if you're just prepping for lunch or prepping for dinner, right? Josh preps for obviously his whole day. But if you're one of those people that cooks breakfast at home, right, then they can just use that.
Yeah.
They can just make their lunches for the whole week or dinners for the whole week.
Exactly. Yeah. And like kind of like what he's saying. Now this is my finished product for the day. So if you were to box everything up like I had it, I've got all my containers over here. You can put those in a baggie the same way I did the eggs, and dunk in the water, zip tie it, or whatever you got to do, and pull them out as you go. If you want to buy a bunch of containers and just have them ready, meal prep for 3 to 5 days. I wouldn't meal prep anything longer than 7 days. Anything longer than that, it's not even. I don't know what it's anymore. It's not food anymore. Something's going on. So yeah, I mean obviously wait differently. But yeah, I don't, like I said, the fresher you can make it better, but honestly, you can meal prep for, I've seen people do like 14-day meal preps, and I don't know how they do that, but honestly, a lot of those, anything longer than that, they do, it's a vacuum seal, and I know I've seen it at Target and Walmart. I do the same thing with the water, but if you wanted to buy that as well, that's also an option. So, yeah.
Hey Josh, I noticed that you put raw spinach underneath the vegetables and the chicken.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody else saw that. Can you talk about why you didn't prepare this?
Just preference. Yeah, that's just me wanting to eat the raw spinach. I didn't want to cook. Yeah, I do cook spinach, obviously, with the eggs and stuff, but yeah, just the raw spinach. If you wanted to cook it, go for it. Yeah, this.
Quick for breakfast, but raw for lunch.
Yeah. Just the spinach. Yeah, like I said, if you take what you learned here and just kind of don't magnify it. Just kind of look from the outside. Okay, he got everything ready. That's something you can take with you. These are meals that I just happen to like. I love chicken, and I'm super blessed, and I can eat the same thing every freaking day. And I do, and so it's easy for me. Not everybody else has the same kind of taste buds, right? Like we all crave different things. So with that being said, if you crave different kinds of meats, go for it. You know, if you gotta have a protein shake with something else, guys, you got to be able to expand it, because if you try to recreate what I did here, this is my system, this is my method. Take what you want and learn from it, but make it your own. Have your own ideas, your own recipes. I'm telling you, guy, girl, if you have not been on Pinterest and just Pinterest real quick meal prep recipes, guys, there's millions of them. They're everywhere. Same thing with green smoothie recipes.
I'm just happy you have cheese.
Cheese is just a little bit extra.
Yeah, notice how much you put.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't. No handful.
Yeah, it was a sprinkle.
You actually eat that?
Yeah, but it's not that. That's super nice. That's like the 5-pound bag you get at home. Yeah. The bulk buy, yeah. So ultimately, just kind of recap of everything. Let me pull everything up. Now, like I said, guys, this is all going to be on the the sheet that I have. So whenever you go to the store, make sure that you're shopped on the outsides. You don't really need to go down the aisles too much. I don't know how everybody feels about bread, but honestly, it's the same concept for me. Anything on that?
Bread.
About bread? Just anything you want to throw in about it?
Just the ones that we see. Ezekiel bread or Dave's.
Oh, yeah.
Another good one. If you don't have a wheat sensitivity, you have wheat sensitivity, there are no good bread. There are no bread that tastes good that don't have wheat.
And then as far as whenever you start cooking, guys, make sure you have everything out in the mail. Before you guys got here, I had all my utensils out. I had all my stuff pre-prepped. Whenever I got here, before y'all got here, I was cutting everything up. But you know, my potatoes, I started on breakfast. Potatoes took 10, 12 minutes. I was cutting everything else up freezer ready. So realistically, the time is a huge factor. Making this, write it out as you go.
I mean, it tastes good.
I mean,
She just said, if you want gluten-free bread, prairie bread at Whole Foods, this is what they have. And I believe Amy vouched for the taste as well, actually. So 2 people said it tastes good. This is gluten-free if you have a gluten, like a wheat sensitivity.
It actually tastes good. Try it? Oh, yeah.
but yeah, overall, I mean, does anybody else have any other questions?
What's your phone number, so in case I miss it?
Yeah, I'll put it on the bottom. Flock, what you gotta do. Yeah, just last thing, guys. I mean, honestly, like I said, you're gonna mess up. Don't think like I just made 30 containers. That's honestly that's why I did it this way. Because if you sit there and try to prep for 30 containers, I promise you're gonna do something wrong. Especially if you've never done it before. And then by the time you get to day 10, you're like, I'm not eating that freaking broccoli tomorrow. Because you know what's coming. So, like I said, just plan ahead. Make sure that you find meals that you like. Just have fun with it. There's no like strict rule to meal prepping. Just like I said, this is what I do, and this is the easiest way for me. So, do what you gotta do to make it easy for you. But that's all I got for you guys.